So this is my review of this week's NXT, and I think it was a very good show. Like now, finally feels like NXT is back in its groove. Like everything, the Elio Lifler versus Eli Knight match, which ended in a time limit draw due to the time running out, and Robert Stone announcing it will be a triple threat match for the title next week. So they're probably gonna protect Ilya Lafleur and have Jasper Troy pin Eli Knight. Uh, I don't know why it's 7 minutes. I don't know. He just said just because it's three people, it's going to be 7 minutes. I don't know how that is. Also, finally, Fallon Henley is going to do something with that speed championship, because the speed championship tournament is starting next week, with it being Blake Monroe and Thea Hale starting it next week. Apart from that, Ricky Saints challenging Joe Hendry to a match at Vengeance Day, which is good, but it kind of feels like that Ricky is going to take that title from Joe. Because I do think what's probably going to happen is Ricky's going to take that title, and then I think maybe Tony D'Angelo may take it at Stand and Deliver. Or Deadlock, or whatever the pay per view that's gonna happen. Yeah, I do feel that. But another thing is, if Ricky does win the title, he really doesn't have that many people to feud with. Like almost everyone in the men's roster is a heel. Like, where are the faces? Like, all the faces are like the tag teams, I think. Some of the tag teams, like there are not that many faces on the roster. Or you have someone like a Keanu Carver, but then he is like a monster, so he's not really a heel or a face. Then also you had, and also their promo. It felt like the lines that they really wanted to hit, they just didn't land that well with the audience. It was fine, the lines were fine, but the reaction that they expected, and even the way that they delivered those lines, it did feel kind of off. But I am excited for this match. This is a good defense for Henry, but I think Ricky is gonna win. I think they're gonna give the title to Ricky, because they have been building Ricky as the main heel of NXT for a while now, and I think they're going to give him the title. Maybe uh, because if you give Ricky the title, you can still have Ricky and Joe have like a mini feud uh, till whatever Deadlock or anything, and then Ricky and Tony D'Angelo can have a feud. Tony D'Angelo looks great with the hair on his chest and body, looks like a very like bear like man. The only thing is that it is kind of like a leaner frame or a bigger frame. It's kind of like in between, and his speed, he should be more agile. But apart from that, I liked he defeated one of the Dark State. He was attacked after the match, but he beat them up again. But then it was stopped by the security guards and all. You also had Zarya and Soul falling out backstage, then Soul having a segment with JC and everyone. We can all say that microphones are not really made for Soul Ruka. She is not bad, but it kind of feels like, because they don't really have Soul speak on the mic that much, it was almost like she was saying lines which were rehearsed, and it was like, exclamation mark here, so pause here. JC felt much more natural, though the promo was essentially that, JC, you have been fatal, toxic, and everything. She wanted to say it in a very like creative way, but I don't think Soul is really someone who can deliver that in a creative way. And then what happened was, JC attacked her. Then Zarya came out. She punked them essentially, because she was like, get her up, get her up. And then she just beat up Fatal Influence, and then she hugged Soul Ruka. One thing is, how many times has JC retained her championship because someone turned on someone else? Like she won the title back from Tatum Paxley because Easy Dame turned on her. Before that, she defeated Jordan Grace because Blake Monroe turned on her, and we'll probably see her retaining the championship because Zarya is gonna turn on her. But the only thing is, I think this is the right time to make Soul Ruka the champion, because anyway she's gonna get called up soon, and JC has defeated literally everyone. Who is left? Like what? She has what? Jada Parker? Are you going to give her the NXT Women's Championship right now? Tatum looks like she is now like over Izzy Dame, even though she interfered in her match last time. So what? Like I think it's right time for Soul to win the championship, and then you can still have JC and Fatal Influence be in an NXT feud with Soul Ruka, and apart from that, Fallon Henley is the women's speed champion, so they can be her lackeys for a while, which was the original intention, by the way. That Fallon Henley is going to be the main woman. So yeah, like we need to see what happens with that. One thing is also Vanity Project was all over the show. Like the Vanity Project won the number one contenders fatal four-way tag match because you had all the other people come out, and then because of that distraction, there was a surprise spin, which was kind of like how did that happen? I saw that it was creative, but it was like he just pushed one of them on top of I think Nico Vance or one of them. So they are going for the tag team championship. So let's see what happens with that. Apart from that, also you had Vanity Project involved in Ethan Page's defense against Shiloh Hill as well. One thing is also this Ethan Page and Vanity Project relationship. It is like what is it like? It is like a we both are heels, so we are together. They distracted Shiloh, which was a good match. I love Ethan Page's reign. He has shown himself out a lot in this title run, be it as a character, be it as a wrestler, and be it in compatibility. Like he has been compatible with a lot of different people, and I hope he gets to like show this side whenever he gets called up to the main roster because he's awesome. And you give him a mid card belt and you give him this exact same reign with different kinds of people, even lower mid carders, comedy acts, main eventers, upper mid carders. He will give his best beat in the ring, beat as a character. And after the match, you actually had Miles Bone show up, and they have been teasing this stuff on social media. Miles Bone has been saying that I'm going to show a dark edge, and then you had Ethan Page begging him to not, you know crush his leg between the chairs, and Miles Bone was like, give me a title shot. The only thing is that how would you understand Miles if he agrees or if he knows? If he does not, like you can't hear shit. And then but sometimes somehow he hears it. And then Ethan Page, his stupid person like he is, he started mocking him. I knew you can do it. I knew you can do it. And then he anyways crushed his leg. So yeah, I think this is good because Miles Bone has now something different rather than okay, I am deaf, and the sympathy factor for him. He's a good wrestler in the ring, but I think this the edge that his character will have, and he'll probably face repercussions because you had Robert Stone and Shawn Michaels discussing that what Miles Bone is running out of control and everything. That was on social media. Also, you had Kalani versus Lola Weiss, which was a really good match, and Kalani crushed Lola's hand, like absolutely crushed her hand, and then I think did she tap or I think she pinned her. I don't know, but Kalani won. So is this feud over here, or I think we are going to that? You remember the Jada and Lola Weiss feud that happened? Maybe that is the final destination because this has been going for a while. Maybe it is over now. Maybe Lola is injured. They want to write her off. Let's see what happens with that. I am excited about it. So yeah, that was pretty much the interesting parts of the show. Of course, I must have missed something because I'm doing the review late. But what do you think about the show? What do you think about my review? Tell me in the comment section. If you like this type of content, like this video, share and subscribe. If you don't, then share with those who do. My social media accounts, which are my Twitter/X account and my Instagram account, links are in the description. So go follow me on that. My UPI ID link, which is shabboy@okicici, is also in the description. So go donate any amount of money which can help me make YouTube a permanent career option. So that was it for me for today. So thank you. Goodbye. Alvida.